Pablo Escobar, a name synonymous with unimaginable wealth, unfathomable cruelty, and a reign of terror that held a nation hostage. Born in 1949 in Rionegro, Colombia, Escobar's early life was marked by poverty and a relentless drive to escape it. He started with petty crimes, but his ambitions soon outgrew the small-time hustles of Medellín. He rose from the slums of Medellín to become one of the world's most powerful drug lords, a transformation that seemed almost mythical. His journey from a street thug to the head of the Medellín cartel was swift and brutal. His empire was built on a foundation of cocaine and cemented with blood. Escobar's operations were vast, spanning continents and generating billions of dollars. He controlled the cocaine trade with an iron fist, ensuring that his product reached every corner of the globe. He tasted the heights of luxury, his pockets overflowing with more money than he could ever spend. Mansions, private jets, and exotic animals were just a few of the extravagances he indulged in. His wealth was so immense that he reportedly spent thousands of dollars on rubber bands just to hold his cash together, while simultaneously inflicting unspeakable suffering on anyone who dared to cross his path. His reign was marked by a level of violence and intimidation that Colombia had never seen before. Politicians, judges, and journalists were all targets if they stood in his way. But his empire, like all empires built on violence and fear, was destined to crumble. The Colombian government, with the help of international forces, launched an all-out war against him. His once unassailable empire began to fracture under the relentless pressure. His story is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the seductive allure of power and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. Escobar's rise and fall serve as a powerful lesson about the transient nature of power and the inevitable downfall that follows a life built on crime and violence. Pablo Escobar was born into poverty in the heart of Medellín, Colombia. Life in the slums was harsh, opportunities were scarce. Escobar, a young man with a hunger for power and wealth, saw a different path for himself, a path paved with cocaine. He started small, a petty criminal with a growing ambition. He dabbled in car theft, contraband, and eventually the burgeoning cocaine trade. Each step deeper into the underworld fueled his ambition, his ruthlessness growing with his power. He was a natural-born leader, his charisma attracting a loyal following of sicarios, young men eager to prove themselves in his service. Escobar was quick to realize the potential of cocaine. The demand was high, the profits astronomical. He understood that power wasn't given, it was taken. He established smuggling routes, first to neighboring countries, then expanding his reach to the United States. His empire, the infamous Medellín cartel, tightened its grip on every stage of the drug trade. Escobar was ruthless and efficient. He eliminated rivals with brutal efficiency, his methods designed to instill fear and ensure absolute loyalty. He bribed officials, judges, and politicians, weaving a web of corruption that extended to the highest levels of power. As Escobar's wealth grew, so did his notoriety. He reveled in his image as a self-made man, a patron of the poor. He poured money into building homes, schools, and football fields in Medellín slums, cultivating a Robin Hood persona that resonated with the impoverished masses. He threw lavish parties at his opulent estate, Hacienda Nápoles, a sprawling testament to his extravagant lifestyle. Exotic animals roamed the grounds, a constant reminder of his immense wealth and power. But beneath the veneer of philanthropy and extravagance lay a heart of stone. The blood of countless victims stained his fortune, a stark contrast to the image he so carefully crafted. Section 5. Cocaine King, Escobar's Reign of Terror. At the height of his power, Escobar controlled over 80% of the world's cocaine trade. His influence stretched far beyond the borders of Colombia, reaching into the very heart of the United States and Europe. The Medellín cartel, under his iron-fisted rule, became synonymous with terror and violence. His cartel was a well-oiled machine, flooding the streets of America and Europe with cocaine. The sheer volume of drugs moving through his network was staggering, and law enforcement agencies around the world struggled to keep up. He became one of the wealthiest men alive, his wealth estimated in the billions. His opulent lifestyle was a stark contrast to the poverty that plagued much of Colombia. Lavish estates, private zoos, and fleets of luxury cars were just a few symbols of his immense wealth. But with unimaginable wealth came unimaginable paranoia and brutality. Escobar was constantly on edge, fearing betrayal from within his own ranks and relentless pursuit by law enforcement. His paranoia led to a reign of terror that left a trail of blood and destruction. Escobar lived by a simple code, plata o plomo, silver or lead. This ruthless philosophy meant that anyone who opposed him was given a choice: accept his bribe and live, or refuse and face certain death. Either accept his bribe or face the consequences. This brutal tactic ensured that many officials, from police officers to politicians, turned a blind eye to his activities, allowing his empire to flourish. Judges, journalists, politicians, anyone who dared to stand in his way became a target. The fear he instilled was palpable, and his reach seemed limitless. No one was safe from his wrath. Car bombs exploded in city streets, politicians were assassinated, the violence was relentless, and the Colombian government struggled to maintain control. Innocent people were caught in the crossfire. The human cost of Escobar's reign of terror was immense, leaving scars that would last for generations. His legacy is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of unchecked power and greed. Section 6. The walls close in, the search block's pursuit. Escobar's reign of terror could not last forever. His ruthlessness united his enemies. The Colombian government, under immense pressure from the United States, formed a special police unit, the search block, dedicated to bringing him down. The search block was relentless, their pursuit fueled by a desire to end Escobar's reign of terror. They were aided by U.S. intelligence agencies, their resources and technology proving invaluable in tracking the elusive drug lord. The chase was on. Section 7. Betrayal, Desperation, and a Ruthless End. As the net tightened, Escobar's empire began to unravel. His inner circle, once bound by loyalty and fear, started to crumble. Betrayal lurked in the shadows. His enemies, emboldened by the relentless pressure, grew bolder in their attacks. Escobar, once untouchable, was now a hunted man. He was forced into hiding, separated from his family, his movements increasingly desperate. The luxury he once enjoyed was a distant memory, replaced by the constant fear of capture. Section 8. The Price of Power. Escobar's Bloody Legacy. On December 2, 1993, Pablo Escobar's reign of terror finally came to an end. He was cornered and killed by Colombian security forces in a rooftop shootout in Medellín. News of his death sparked celebrations in the streets. For many, it was the end of a nightmare. Escobar's death marked the decline of the Medellín cartel, but the cost of his reign of terror was immeasurable. Thousands of innocent lives were lost, victims of his ambition and brutality. His legacy remains a complex and controversial one. Section 9. Scars on a Nation, Colombia after Escobar. Pablo Escobar's legacy continues to cast a long shadow over Colombia. His reign of terror left an indelible mark on the nation, one that is still felt to this day. The name Escobar is synonymous with fear, power, and the devastating impact of the drug trade. His story is a stark reminder of the corrosive effects of the drug trade, the violence it fuels, and the deep scars it leaves on society. The streets of Colombia, once vibrant and full of life, were turned into battlegrounds. Families were torn apart, and communities were left in ruins. Colombia has made significant strides in combating drug trafficking and violence in the decades since Escobar's death. The government has implemented numerous policies and initiatives aimed at dismantling drug cartels and restoring peace. The bravery and dedication of the Colombian police and military have been instrumental in these efforts. But the fight is far from over. New challenges have emerged, and the remnants of Escobar's empire still linger. The drug trade has evolved, and so too must the strategies to combat it. The resilience of the Colombian people is tested daily as they strive for a future free from the shadows of their past. Escobar's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that the allure of power and wealth can corrupt even the most resilient of souls. His rise to power was marked by ruthless ambition and a blatant disregard for human life. The opulence and luxury he surrounded himself with were built on the suffering of countless individuals. It is a story that continues to fascinate and horrify, a stark reminder of the human capacity for both good and evil. The people of Colombia, with their unwavering spirit and hope, embody the struggle between these two forces. Their journey is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity.